Welcome back to the next episode of the Right Hand Drive Guys, the podcast for guys who like right hand drives. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
And today is episode 78. And today's going to be another guest.
Who we got? Who do we got?
Well, he's a buddy of mine named Jerome.
Jerome.
And Jerome is one of the lucky guys who got stationed in Okinawa.
Oh,
I believe. But stationed in Japan, regardless. And so he's going to tell us his whole story.
Right.
And he has a lot of experience in Japan. He was there for a long time. He purchased cars. He worked with shops. He did a lot of different stuff. So I met him through a group, and we had a lot of similar interests. And I was like, dude, you should be on the podcast. Like, you, like, really lived it, over there. So, we figured we'll have him on. We'll chit-chat it up and just see what we can get into.
Dude, I'm into it.
All right, let's do it. So this is Roaming Japan with Jerome is what we're going to call the episode. Hell yeah, let's get to it. All right, and we're here with Jerome. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. I know we had been planning it for a little bit, so I'm glad we could finally just get it going.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, and so... I know about you, of course, right? Through the group and everything. And so, but I know these people want to know, like, who's Jerome? Why is he on the podcast? You know what I mean? And so just tell us a little bit about yourself and, kind of how you got to Japan. I mean, the episode is Roaming Japan with Jerome. So it kind of gave it away there. But yeah, just kind of let us in on it a little bit.
All right, so I was stationed in Korea, and I worked for a general. And, Army guys can't really go to Japan, though. It's, like, really hard. But he hooked me up, and I went to Japan. And I decided, I'm going to go buy an R34 GTR. So,
so pretty much the military had you in Japan for how long?
So I was there for, like, a normal tour, like 4 years. But... kind of weird, like in Japan, it's like who not what you know. So I got started in IT and I faked it till I made it. But the guy who hooked me up, he drove an R32 GTR and he was like, hey man, you want to do IT? I'm like, yeah, sure. So pretty much there's a stigma that IT guys in Japan that drove GTRs, we were called the skulls because we were like this. Yeah. So funny story, like, everybody expects like a GTR owner to be like some kind of baller, and contractors in Okinawa, they had a lot of money. So everybody drove like 1,000 horsepower GTRs.
Damn.
That's just the norm.
Everybody like that wasn't like normal military had like an easy 1,000 horsepower GTR.
Wow.
Sequential everything. Yeah.
What year is this?
This was 2009 till now. They're still over there. So.
Damn. Crazy,
in 2009, that's what was going on. That's pretty wild to think about. I would have loved to have been there. So you have the 34. But most guys, including myself, we picked up 34s from the range of whatever 2018 to now, right? Definitely a lot more popular since then, but that's not the case with you, is it?
No, so I bought mine right before I left from Korea. Like I called Best R up and I was like, hey, let me buy this car from you. It's using GoNet and whatever. And they're like, yeah, sure. And then so I had them hook me up with like mines because I really wanted a mines car. Everybody wanted a mines car back then.
Yeah.
And so I had some body work done to it and did a little bit of tuning, which isn't really much because it's ROM tune. And then I sent it over to Nismo for like the sports resetting package. So like basically mine shaved it down for me, like made it a little more lightweight. And then I had Nismo, paint it. So I was technically, before I changed the color, I was like one of one in the world, with that color paint. But it was just had Nismo take care of it. And then like when I got to Okinawa, I waited like maybe 2 days and it was at my friend's house. And I was like, oh, so I had all those pictures of back then, and it was good times. But yeah, 2009, all the way up to when I left in 2018, I believe. that's how long I've had the GTR. I mean, I've had it here in the States, but all right. So yeah, my GTR is here, but on the way here, like it got stolen by one of my friends.
Whoa.
I guess friends, right?
What?
What
Yeah.
year is this that this happened?
So this is 2018, right? I use Japstars, which is a really good company. I have no problem with them. I really like Alex too. But so there's this guy. He was one of my friends in Okinawa, Army guy too. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll take care of you," because like I had to have him deregister the car before we can like ship it to the port. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, actually, hold on. Let me take that back. In order to ship it across country on one of those trucks, it had to be registered. And when it got to to Tokyo, where he was at, the Fusa, that's when he would deregister it and then send it to the port. But instead, what he did was he went ahead and deregistered it and registered it under his name. So he had a power of attorney that said like he can't drive it, but it was just like only to deregister. But he worked at the PMO office, like the police office. So he went ahead and just forged my signature. And yeah, it sucked. Like I got this call, or not this call. It's like I was in Pennsylvania. I was just waking up, and he's like, "Hey, your motor's blown, and if you sell it to me really cheap, I'll keep it how you had it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I just had like my car like refreshed by Powercraft in Iwakuni, so like I knew my car was good, So
You're right.
But so I was like, I'm just not gonna do RB26 anymore. I'm just gonna do RB30. And so I bought RB30. It's in the body shop right now at RB Customs in Lawton, Oklahoma. But I can't wait. I'm gonna go back to Bayside Blue.
Oh, wow.
I think it's gonna run a lot better. Yeah.
So what was that color?
So it's a kind of a girly name, but it's like lavender pearl. But I saw it on a Nismo March at Nismo, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta get that color." And they're like, "Oh, okay, sounds interesting." And yeah, it just took off from there.
I mean,
it was cool because like it changed colors a lot. Like it was kind of like a midnight purple, but a light blue. If that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, you could kind of tell from the
like
pictures.
silver. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
it was nice.
Nismo did that for you. How long ago was that?
So it was back in 2009.
Dang.
Yeah, it didn't take very long. Right before I PCS'd from Korea to Japan.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
I had to do it.
That was part of the sports resetting that they could do that?
No, I just paid a little extra for them to do
shit.
it.
I didn't know they did
They were
that.
pretty cool back then. Yeah, like now I guess you have to pay for that whole the CRS package or whatever, and
right.
Yeah, that's
they
a
gave me
lot
a free
of money.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. I don't remember. I think it was maybe like 40 grand, maybe for everything.
Damn.
So
and that
it wasn't
included
too bad.
like motor freshening up and everything, or?
Yeah, so like like if I needed extra parts or whatever, but yeah, it was just basically like for everything, like mines and Nismo. Well, the mines was maybe like 25,000, I guess, for the shaving back in the day. So I don't know how much it is now. Probably a lot.
I can't imagine. Double.
Yeah, because that's what mines is famous for. Like they're the lightweight, high revving, fast revving RB26. So
yeah, I mean that all sounds awesome. For sure.
Yeah, it was fun. But the crazy thing though, when I was in Okinawa, like I didn't want to like really race my car, and everybody was like, "Hey man, you just have a lawn ornament, like a really expensive lawn ornament," and but I just couldn't do it. Like it was I bought it for 76,000, in the army, like that's a lot of money, So I was like, oh, I can't race it. But then like I just kept getting called out, and I was like, no, you know what? I'm just gonna push it. So like every day I went to the toge every day to work. I would toge it. Every way back home I would toge it. Like lunch break I would toge it, and then like I would just take it to like Nago Circuit or Fuji Speedway or Tsukuba. I would just take it everywhere.
Damn, that sounds like.
So I had this drag setup with doing toge.
Right, yeah, but I'm sure it was a blast regardless. I mean,
oh yeah. So I went through like 4 different sets of turbos because I would get bored really fast. So I went from like I can't remember the first set, but it was like a equivalent to like the GTSS HGS, so maybe like 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? No, I need a little more. So I went to a T88 because that was like the big rage back then in Okinawa. It was like everybody's gonna drag race a big 700 horsepower turbo, the Japanese guys, and have like stock blocks. So when it breaks, you just put a new one in, right? Because it's so cheap. It was like $1,000 for a block.
Yeah.
But you know, now you can't do that. Yeah. Then I went to like a T88 38 GK. So 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Didn't really go that well. It was too laggy. So went back down.
So what do you got now? Or what are you doing now?
I'm going with a Borg Warner 9280. So really responsive. There was a guy with an R33 in Okinawa. His name is Mark. Dude was like he was an older guy, you know, he smoked a lot of cigars. One of my good friends. And he's always like meet me up at Starbucks, you know, like, hey, let's go to Starbucks. All right, cool, man. And then right afterwards, you go toge, you know. But he was like one of the only people that could keep up with me. Everybody else I'd made crash, you know. So,
oh damn.
yeah, like I would like ride them straight initial D, right? Like I would ride them until like they would just get kind of, you know, freaked out, or I'd like do the whole like I'll keep my revs under 7,000, and then they're like, oh, this guy's really slow, and then I'll just gradually increase speed, so I can just mess with your mind. but this guy, he had like a 90 or wait, the smaller size Borg Warners. It was like the 8274, something like that. And yeah, it was phenomenally fast. Like it was just the revs went up so hard, like it was crazy, you know, like 3,000 RPM and 45 or 4,000 RPM. It was like full boost at like 2 bar.
Damn, so he's
I was
snappy.
like, yeah, I'm copying this.
Yeah.
It was not, and he had a sequential too. So,
so I know Aaron had something more about Japan he wanted to ask.
Yeah. Tell us something about Japan that tourists wouldn't really know. What's a good secret?
Good secret. Like I was talking to my wife about this earlier actually, and like, do I go like kind of because I'm more of an underworld kind of guy, you know, like I used to like to party a lot, hung out with some Yakuza people, nice. Beat up some bosos, you know. But I guess like just get out of Tokyo, you know. Everybody wants to go to Tokyo. Everybody wants to go to like, you know, Autobox or Yellow Hat, and yeah, let's get out, you know, like Okayama, you know, has a lot of lowriders, right? Their body shops, I think, are the best in the world. Like car wise, yeah, just, you know, let's say you want to, you know, the Yellow Shark, Auto Select, the Yellow Shark. If you want to race that guy, he's always at like Okayama Circuit, like practicing, so you can race him, you know.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, he's fast. He's kind of a douche, to be honest, but you know, most fast people are, right? So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So okay, so on that topic though, like if I'm headed to Japan and I can only go one place, where am I going?
So it depends. Car wise, so my wife is from Tottori, so I have to actually shout this out, you know. So Tottori, I would say go there. You can, I don't know if you like snowboarding, but they have sandboarding there, which you're going like down a dune.
Oh, what?
Damn, that's wild.
So Japan has a desert, and that's where that desert's at.
No way.
I've been to like all the prefectures in Japan, like every one of them, you know, because I had to travel, you know, and see what it's like. But Tottori is probably my favorite. Like, if you see like the beach and the ocean, and there's like a desert, and then you're going down the mountain like as fast as you can. It's just beautiful, you know, like all three things mixed in one.
That sounds cool.
Right.
Where is that in Japan? Like which area, I guess you could say?
It's Tottori Prefecture. It's north of Okayama and Osaka.
Okay.
Like northwest of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay.
So, right, a little more maybe off the beaten path of like the tourist.
Right.
Which is cool. That's what you want. If you're going, like, if you've been to Japan once and seen the touristy stuff, and then you're trying to find the things that are more genuine, you know, and just a little bit more, I guess you could say, traditional Japan. And it kind of sounds like that's a place you'd want to go.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's country, and I don't know if you know this, but like country Japanese people aren't the same as like city Japanese people. They're a little more like they talk like Goku from Dragon Ball, kind of. And they're like, Albo kind of talked about it on his episode with you guys. Like, Gunma is country Japan, right?
Yeah.
Like land of the lettuce. But so with the Japanese, like since there's not really much to do in the country Japanese side, they like to. That's how they start drifting at so like that weird age, like they just there's nothing else to spend money on. There's nothing else to do, so they just start drifting. Like my wife was telling me when she was younger, she would like go down the snowy mountain drifting and playing tag with other cars with no lights on. So I married somebody really insane. Like, yeah, so they would just smash each other and while they, try to escape each other down the mountain.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good time, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it too, but I don't know, I'm too scared.
yeah, for sure. I'll stick to my sled or my snowmobile or something. So yeah, that's cool. And so you mentioned earlier like the RB30. Like, so
Yeah.
what's the perfect, we want to know what's Jerome's perfect RB26 build or RB build, we'll say.
RB build? My old build was a Speed Factory build, and then I got tired of that and went to a top secret build, with the Tomei cooling pistons, the Naprick head. I really want something like perfectly balanced. And I think the RB30 is actually better than RB26 just because of more torque. I think it's more responsive. But yeah, I just really like responsive, like with the RB26, with, some of my drag setup, I have to brake like super early just so I can build boost by the apex, otherwise
Right.
I kind of, but with this build, I think I I have GSC like heads, or not heads, but cams, the fair area. I don't know how to say that,
Yeah.
but that's like all of it's like either GSC or for area, I guess. And then I went with a spool build because not really. I thought it would be okay, like an I build, I guess. I con rods. That makes sense. The I style.
Yeah.
Not the H. The I pattern.
I-beam,
Yeah. So I'm looking for something like super responsive, like a responsive 1,000 horsepower belt, like to the wheels. Like where like America's the land of like drag racing, right? I don't want to get like I don't like losing. Like that's like my biggest like so like if I say like I don't like drag racing, but if somebody challenges me, I have to like I give in like so easily, like I just don't run away from a fight and yeah, I'll race you, so I need that.
Yeah, for sure.
I need that 1,000 horsepower. Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna build based on drag still? That's like the focus?
No, circuit, because at Fuji that long straightaway,
yeah.
You run a perfect lap and then all of a sudden it's just some really fast guy with a fast car just passes you. I just don't feel like that's So and I had a buddy too. He had a top secret build. His name is Ken. His car was actually at the auto salon a couple times and in the top secret like catalog.
Wow.
But he had 1,000 horsepower. Yeah, it was cool. He had like a base side blue with a white pearl, so really pretty. But yeah, he had 1,000 horsepower build. Speed Hunters actually did a thing on him, but it was so responsive. I don't know what he did to it, but like a smoky magic, I guess. But
yeah,
like he was doing like 200 miles an hour, like easily on the straightaway, and
damn.
it was so balanced. Like when he was attacking a turn, there was no body roll. It was just like I'm gonna go get it and I'm gonna go past you, So
and so you're like, I gotta have that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else, Like Smokey is a heck of a tuner. So
yeah, I know, and it's crazy. We've seen him a few times or whatever, and it's just crazy. Like he's just such a legend. The way that he just carries himself and like For sure.
I love
Like,
going back and watching the old option videos with him in it, and
when
like,
he's younger.
yeah, when he's a little bit younger, but you still see the same Smokey with the glasses, like smoking a cig, dude. Just like he's
No,
timeless, dude. He's a timeless dude.
yeah, he does not care. So, but you said you had a top secret build. So did he take part in that at all?
Yeah, he tuned it. He was one of the more expensive builds. Yeah, he was actually all right. So I have a theory. Well, I'll get back to the top secret thing, but I feel like the smaller shops in Japan are better than the bigger shops in Japan. Like the Power Crafts or the AGYs. AGY is Auto Gallery Yokohama, and they have the fastest lap at Fuji Speedway. And they actually built my transmission because, like, I always break the get rag because drag racing, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of weak, but especially when you have slicks on. But yeah, so they built mine with like billet parts and stuff. But yeah, they make like the fastest circuit cars, and actually most of I'd say like in Gifu Prefecture, next to Nagoya, they have like the best garages for GTRs, like hands down.
So
but, yeah, back to my top. Go ahead, sir.
no. I was just gonna say. So is AGY in that area that you're talking about?
AGY is actually outside of Tokyo. It's in the Yokohama area.
Okay.
But so it's AGY, and then everybody else out west is like, that's what I think is like best. Like Powercraft, they were in Iwakuni, Japan, like next to the Marine Corps base. But I guess they beat mines at Tsukuba with their demo car. Yeah, so I just think like the service is. I mean, service is great everywhere. It's Japan, right? Like you get all hot fries at McDonald's. I mean,
Yeah,
you're gonna get a badass car.
Amen to that, right? So
yeah, I miss it.
but yeah, okay. Tell us about the top secret build. I don't want to forget that.
So top secret build, it was just your standard, like, your T88 Tomei cooling pistons, Nabrick head. He built it, and he tuned it. It was kind of more of a boring build, to be honest. I mean, like, I didn't make that much money to afford, like, Ken. I guess he was like a vice president, and I was just like this IT guy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's kind of had a normal build, but I mean, it was cool. I mean, I liked it.
And so, what makes you like? So, because you've had a few, what makes you go to the next one? Like that's more power. Is that what you're like always
More
searching?
response.
More response is what you're. I see.
Yeah, this time around is more response, but I want it more balanced. Like, I really want that big power, but like instant boost kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yes.
It's weird, like the best of both worlds, right? And like there was this D1 guy I used to hang out with. His name was Michiya in Okinawa, and he was like, "There's just no way to have both." And I'm trying to prove him wrong, even though it's like a long time ago,
Yeah.
20 years ago or so, 15, and I'm still trying to prove this guy wrong. But I think I can do it, like especially with today's technology.
Yeah. Turbos have came a long way. Like even in the last 10 years, I feel like with some of the tech that's came out with some of these fast spool, high flow turbos, it's kind of insane. Like,
Yeah.
the power you can make and how quick and how low the power, how low in the power band it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we're definitely making progress, especially compared to the old stuff. So, all right, I know you had something.
Yeah. So, if you could give advice to someone wanting to move to Japan, because, dude, I mean, everyone wants to move to Japan. If you visit there once, you're like coming back and you immediately, how can I move to Japan, dude?
It's true. You're Googling it in the customs line.
So if you have any advice for anyone wanting to move to Japan, what would it be?
So it's actually really easy, I think. Everybody's, it's so hard.
Taking notes.
It's not.
Oh.
So so they look for a lot of like the government contractor roles, right? Or government civilians, or even military if you're still in the military, which none of us are, I think. But I know like Hewlett Packard, or I guess back in the day it was Hewlett Packard. I think it's something else now, Leidos, I think. But they're always looking for people, even if you have like 0 skill level, so long as you can get a clearance, which is pay your bills on time and not do any drugs, I guess. And if you can pass like a security plus test, which is really easy. To be honest, I cheated on mine because I just used the word bank or the test bank, and I passed in like 3 days.
Nice, dude.
But but yeah, so they hire you and they just bring you out there. Like everybody, like I meet so many people that are like, hey, I just came back from Japan because of this, or But yeah, so just become a government contractor. You get paid a lot, you don't taxes, I guess, aren't up to like 160,000. You don't get taxed on, so why
Damn.
not?
Yeah, that sounds
Whoa.
pretty decent. I mean, I guess a lot of people don't think of the government contractor thing in that maybe you don't even
Yeah,
necessarily have to have all this experience. You can kind of wing it, and pass the tests and then make your move from
yeah.
there.
It's like I said earlier, it's who you know. I mean, like I didn't know like anything about IT. The dude just came over to my house. He's like, "Hey man, I just bought an R32 GTR," and like, oh, I was like, "Hey, how many cars do you have?" And he's like six. He had like Altezza,
Damn.
Legacy V4s, RX-7s, and then
Ballin'.
this 32. And he was just like, "Yeah, man. All you got to do is pass this test, and I'll hook you up." And so, you just find that guy, that can hook you up. Which I can probably hook you up, So the Lidos guy drives R32, 1,000 horsepower R32 in Japan. So
Yeah, that's pretty legit. And, you don't really think of necessarily all these guys that have been over there for so long, putting in work on their GTRs or whatever their Supras or whatever they have over there, and it's just kind of interesting to think that some people are really getting to enjoy it like you did, you know what I mean, during kind of the heyday.
had too much fun. Yeah. Yeah, or you could find like I guess dating app and meet some Japanese girl, and then there's your visa right there.
That I guess that's true. Yeah, but you got to be single for that. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
um so I mean, keeping it, somewhere between PG-13 and R, somewhere in between there. What's something you can tell us about a wild time you had in Japan as far as with cars, whatever, like street rate, whatever it may be. Hook us up with something a little crazy. I know you got it
Oh
in
man,
there.
I do, but um,
Okay, so something with cars though, like just as far as like maybe whatever experience there.
so I used to do like the toge thing. I love it. Like in Okinawa, we have this. It's Route 2, but it goes all the way up the island, right? Like all the way from like it's like a 20-minute drive, like over 200 turns. It's like a mini Nürburgring.
Dang.
Holy cow.
And yeah, there you have groups that go up there and like cruise it, but like I like to, pedal the metal, wastegate screaming the whole, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's so one night I was going up there and I got pulled over the week before in a K car, so I was going maybe 5 kilometers, but I was trying to save like gas and tires, so I was only going like the speed limit was maybe I think 60 kms, and I was going 62, which isn't very fast. And the same cop wanted to pull me over again, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this, like not today. And it was raining, and I had R888s on, and I just put in second gear and I just flew. And this dude like, and I was like, I made like, I put an exit between us, right? Like there was so many there was like not that many exits, so there was a considerable amount of distance, but this guy like came up on me like he was like the Terminator. He wouldn't stop, But like, yeah, I was going 200, like 300 kilometers in the rain on R888s. Like I thought I was gonna die.
Wow. He eventually
Holy
faded
cow.
off behind you. He must have.
So I lost him in some traffic. Like I just cut everybody off, and then I hid behind like a whatchamacallit, I forget the name of the restaurant now. Sakia. Yeah, I just hid behind there, but I was like, dude, like I thought my heart was gonna come out of my chest. But
Damn.
yeah, like I had, yeah, it was like the first time I ran from cops, and then it wasn't the last. So,
Damn,
but
that's wild.
yeah, luckily, like cops, like let's say they see you driving the next week, they can't really prove that you were the one driving, so you're good.
Wow, that's crazy.
Good to know.
Dude. Yeah, so
Good to
they
know.
have to get you at the scene of like whatever the
Right.
crime, so to speak. They can't just see you later. Dang. That's pretty legit. I feel like here, sure, maybe that wouldn't like stick in court or
No.
whatever, but like they
Yeah.
would still mess with you about it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would just, yeah, it's scary, but like, especially if I like mess up and hit somebody and then my life's over, because they caught me, right? And then I killed somebody or something. Yeah, definitely not a good time. But
Yeah,
if
no.
they don't catch you, you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they will chase you. Like,
they will.
Dude, they're aggressive. They seem pretty aggressive.
yeah.
Like not like Florida
especially if
State
it's
Trooper, but like pretty aggressive. I don't know. Maybe it's their voices when they get on the intercom,
yeah.
the
dude.
microphone thing.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's something about that and their voices over that thing. It's like, are we in trouble?
I feel like it's a filter in the microphone that
Yeah.
makes him sound like super intense.
It's like, yeah, and they're like, get out of the car, and you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, we have no clue what they're saying. They're just yelling at us, But so, all right. I mean, what's next, man? Like, what's next for Jerome? You obviously you got the car getting painted. You got the responsive motor setup going in. What's next?
So, I ran into this guy on Instagram. He has a R34. It's red, I guess. His name's Lee, and apparently, he has a 34 GTR because it's better performing than a real GTR. I think I'm gonna prove him wrong.
Damn.
So I'm gonna start calling people out. Like
You gonna start?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on like it was a rampage. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to do more circuit, to be honest. I want to do Coda, maybe Laguna Seca, Road Atlanta. Just do like a little tour.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast. Just kind of check them off, and see what you can do, right? That's like the best when at the end when you look up on the screen and you kind of are able to, justify all of the tens of thousands of dollars that we've invested in these cars,
Yeah. It just feels so good though, like just looking at it, like you go outside and open a garage door and it's there and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
So good. So.
All right, yeah, someone's spoiled. They've had their car in the United States for years. Got it. But no, that's sweet, man. And so, okay, real quick, one question about that. So, did the car come in through the military? Is that how that worked?
No. So, I use Japstar. To be honest, I have no idea. Like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I get it. For sure.
But he just was like, oh, I'll bring it in. Okay. And then like I guess we're going for the state legal part, but I'm not really sure. But it came in and like I registered it, no problem. So
shoot, sounds good, man, right? Like no questions after that, dude.
Yeah. It was registered in Vermont for the longest, under his name.
Oh, really?
But I waited till April because, it was that time and they're like, cool, here you go.
Oh, yours is a 99 car?
Yeah, 99
April. Okay.
So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, now you know for sure, like you're good. I'm sure it was maybe a little like, for a little bit, but that's cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely cool. All right, man. Well, yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming on, telling us a few stories, just kind of giving us an outlook of, what it's like to be able to get a 34 GTR when it was, how old did you say? 10 years old?
10 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was, let's talk about price if that's cool real fast.
Yeah.
So back in the day, like they were still expensive. They were like 76 grand. Like mine was 76 grand. And then like, they just kept like rising in price. I never knew like it would reach this level, but glad I got one before.
Yeah, I mean, so 76 grand, how many kilometers did it have on it?
It was like 15,000. So really,
Oh, wow.
not very many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah. What's that worth today?
Yeah, to
Something
say.
like that. That'd be insane prices nowadays with that low KMs.
So you got 15. So how many chassis miles? Because I know the motors have come and gone, but how many chassis miles you got on that thing?
So now
Or kilometers?
maybe 50,000 kilometers. So 50,000
Damn.
hard driven kilometers. Yeah.
Hell
That's
yeah.
sick. So you've gotten to put on a solid 45 or something, or
Yeah.
35, whatever.
Dude, that's a lot for a GTR.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
pretty dope, man. And so, okay, so one more thing. I know. See,
It's always one more
I know
thing.
it's one more thing. So what have you done to the car? Because the biggest thing, like we know, right, is the rust, right? The corrosion, the rust, and Garage Yoshida's making $687 million off doing restorations. Have you done anything like that, or is that in your plans?
Yeah. So right now I'm getting a full restore, right? At $12,000. Garage Yoshida, to be honest with you, I've dealt with a lot of body shops in the past, especially like I broke this lip, I broke this bumper, this fender, 'cause
Yeah.
there's a lot of, road racing. It's going to happen. Especially like when the fender or the diffuser is connected to the bumper and bumper is connected to,
Yeah.
and it's so low, right? So you hit something like your front end's gone, what I mean? But, so yeah, no, you can easily find somebody in Japan, and Japan is like we talked about the McDonald's thing. They're going to give you their best, right? No matter what. You can find like a body shop that's contracted with like Daihatsu or Toyota, or Nissan, or whoever, right? They're going to fix those cars, and they're going to fix your car like it's showroom quality. So like no matter where you go, it's not going to cost $76,000. It's going to be like $12,000, max. Like, and they'll restore it they'll do like the root history thing too.
Right. That's pretty wild to think about, that it's like 5 or 6 times the amount, Garage Yoshida is charging. And I mean, I know they do a few things with the strut towers or whatever, but I mean, beyond that, what you're describing.
They'll do the same. Yeah.
Oh, right. Wow.
Like anybody, Larry Chen's car, whenever, he had all that rust. Yeah. I used to go to the shop called Daimaru in Okinawa. And Okinawa, because of the sea, every car is rusting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll restore you whenever you need it. They'll do it for you, and they're more expensive. But I just reached out to him maybe a couple months ago about because I saw when I was doing my paint job, right, and I was asking him, and he was like, yeah, it costs maybe how much was it? Hyakuniju, so like maybe US, maybe $7,000, like to do a full paint, and then I asked him about for a full restore, like rust everything, like, I mean, it depends, but
of course.
Yeah, maybe $12,000 max for taking care of all the rust.
That is crazy.
So I don't think Yoshida's do anything special. I just think they're just internet famous.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
you're gonna get the same service anywhere else.
Yeah,
So.
that does make sense. Just as far as you're getting the tax of the clout tax for Yoshida. Mm-hmm. I mean, but all right, man. Yeah, no, that's definitely some good insight, especially because you do have these fresh numbers that kind of can give somebody a little heads up that was thinking about spending a lot more, depending on what they're looking for.
Yeah, it's anybody, So.
Yeah. So, all right, man. So, how can people find you though? You got an Instagram, I know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just use Instagram, to be honest with you. I actually started a new account. I think we're friends on that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, just shoot me a message. I'll help you out as much as I can. Especially when it comes to the government sector. If you want me to help you out, like finding a job out there, or just want to ask me anything about Japan, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Dude, yeah, that's hella dope of you. So, what is it? It's like JE GTR V-Spec, or?
Yeah, JE GTR V-Spec. That's my account. So.
Yeah, find him on there for sure. The guy has a million stories we could have gone on for 4 hours if we wanted to, but we definitely appreciate you making the time for us here today, man. And once you get the car back, let's get you back on, get an update of how it came out. If you got your response with your 1,000 horsepower, making all the up badging dudes cry. You know what I'm saying.
Why
But
don't you guys come by and check it out? We'll go to we'll try to get Jesse down and we'll run some laps.
yeah, that would be a blast. What is the estimated time of completion for you? How much time you got?
So after this, I'm not sure how long it's going to take him. Maybe at the end of the month, I should get the car back, and then I gotta. So one of my friends, he does the IMSA Ferrari. He does he races or not races, but he tunes and builds stuff for them. But he has my old RB, which means he has my a lot of my old parts. So until I can get that back from him, which shouldn't take that long, have to get titanium parts welded, and one of my buddies is doing it here. So
Damn.
maybe I'm trying to shoot before fall. So hopefully by the end of summer
nice.
It should be up.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll have to check in with you on that, man, for sure. But we appreciate you coming out, dude, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Peace. Man, we could have just went on and on. I mean, I feel bad that we do keep it short form because I feel like we didn't even really let Jerome start to elaborate on a lot of the things that he went through.
Dude, one thing, he did a quick little blurb. Yeah, the car was a 1 of 1 of that color.
Yeah.
But I've resprayed a Bayside blue. Wait, what? Wait a second. Rewind that. Hold on. Go back. You mean to tell me Nismo painted that car that color?
Yeah.
And that's
March.
that's just unheard of nowadays, I feel like. Stuff like that. It was wait, what?
Nismo's not going to just paint your car. No, I know. Isn't that crazy? Hey, I want this Nissan March color.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That doesn't happen.
Right.
No, I feel like we could have probably doubled, tripled that episode length, but I was happy to hear that he's going after the 1,000 horsepower responsive. I'm like, man, I hope you get it, dude.
Holy cow, dude.
Because I can only imagine that feeling is just that's that feeling. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, dude, 1,000 horsepower, that's
that's not just
out
big
of this
turbo
world.
lag.
That's
sounds like a blast. If he does it, I'll take a flight out to Oklahoma City and I'll sit in the passenger seat of that thing.
Dude,
for
seriously.
Sure. But yeah, man, we're happy to have Jerome on here. He's just a regular guy just like us that just loves the cars and obviously puts his heart into his builds. Make sure to check him out for sure. And tell your buddies, hey, have you heard of the Right Hand Drive guys? Let them know that we're doing our thing, and we'd love to help some people get some education and just maybe take up your car ride.
Yeah,
hell yeah,
absolutely.
Hit us up on the socials at RHDGUIS. And for episode 78, Rome in Japan with Jerome, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.